welcome to Live Dungeons and Dyslexia. I am joined by my usual wonderful review team, and this week we're looking at Mythic Bastionland as recommended by Dewan, which I believe 2 people have got physical copies and are all excited to show off. I haven't got a physical copy. I can't.
Neither.
I'm not going to show it. Welcome everyone. Charlotte is here, and the good news is I am informed that Charlotte will be joining us in 2 weeks' time on the reviews. So says her business partner. Is that true? Is that a true story?
True story, and I do think we need the female perspective on some of these things.
So which one? So who are we kicking out? Is it Adrian or Rob?
Rob's on holiday.
Yeah, I'm off.
Yeah.
For the week,
So what you're saying is that Charlotte's going to be backup Rob for a session.
Yes,
Backup Rob, yeah.
Yes. Make sure she hasn't had a shave or anything. She needs a nice beard.
Because weirdly, he's going on holiday and then not committing time out of his holiday to do this review for everyone else.
I mean, are you going anywhere important?
I'll watch though.
Oh, okay.
I'll have time to watch, but
Where are you going on your holiday?
Swindon.
Oh God, that's where your girlfriend lives. That's not going on holiday. That's just living in a house
on holiday.
Yeah, I'm on holiday from work.
Okay, so either you are going to spend time on the Magic Roundabout or a Jasper Ford novel.
Yeah, I'm not really keen on the Magic Roundabout, to be honest. Every time I've been, I've just managed to approach it and need the next left turn in, so I haven't gone on over them. So,
I've done it once and then never again. So, Mythic Bastionland. So before we get in that, we'll just go around the room, introduce ourselves again. Obviously, everyone knows who I am. If you don't know who I am, I'm made of Dungeons and Dyslexia. There, that's all you need to know. And we've got Pookie. We're going to go anti-clockwise this week.
So, hi, I'm Pookie. I am probably best known for my blog, Reviews from Rillier, which has 2,900 reviews on it, going back over about 16 years.
I'm trying to catch you up.
Good luck.
Yeah. And then our legendary artist, we have got Dewan, and game designer as well now.
Yeah.
Well, for a while.
So I'm Dewan. I run the Odd Artworks channel, which is doing crazy well at the moment. I'm almost at 6,000 subscribers. I'm going to say because of Adrian's bi-weekly slander campaign. Do you want to tell people not to subscribe again?
Oh, no, not this week. Not this week.
Good. You have a week off.
Yeah,
That'll probably mean I'll get a big drop now. That's it. Charlotte and I, we launched our kind of weird live playtest of the game we're developing on last Friday, and we've got another episode this Friday, and it did pretty well. So yeah, we're keeping busy, which is good. Fantastic.
And then we've got Charlotte's replacement this week, which is Rob.
Yeah, my name's Rob. I am probably best known from the Fourth Musketeer on the review team.
You're definitely Porthos.
Yes. Oh, thanks for that. I'm purely here from a role player perspective. I haven't GM'd. Oh, I haven't yet, anyway. So yeah,
it's a yet.
Yeah, I know. Well, you got me interested in all those starter sets. So
oh yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, we'll get in there. So yeah, Dewan, into the odd. Do you want to what's everyone's initials? How's everyone's feeling about this?
Well, first off, I just want to put in Pansy here as Rob's replacement.
Okay. Oh, good whiskers.
Yep, and she's here for Rob and his partner.
Yeah, she's got smaller ears as well.
Yeah.
It's aggressive this week.
I know.
Full of insults this week.
I know.
You can tell that I've settled in now.
That's it. Yeah, the gloves are off.
Yeah. Well, he says he's not coming next week, so he can be horrible. So, hey, Pookie, I think you just before about to roll the cameras, you just pick up from what you were about to say.
Okay, so you want my first impressions?
No. You said you thought it was an odd choice after.
Oh yeah, I mean, okay. So here's the thing. This is, Mythic Bastionland. It's by Chris McDowall, same designer as Into the Odd. And so I first thought, hold on a minute. Most of us, quite a few of us, didn't actually like Into the Odd. You know, there was quite a negative reaction to it. And I'm going, why are we doing this? It's like one of us picking a Year Zero engine role-playing game. It's like we're trying to punish each other with a similar choice of game.
Yes. Oh, should mention the giveaway quickly as well before we get into our first impressions. So come 9 o'clock, we will close down and give away a PDF copy of Mythic Bastionland. So anybody that is one of my Patreons on here, and I think I'm up to 15 now on my Patreons. And so if you just make any comment throughout the video, you'll go onto the list. We'll use the wonderful magic number generator, and it will randomly generate normally one of my Patreons to win. Because actually it's about 50-50 now. Yeah. But the only caveat is you do have to be here at 9 o'clock when we call out your name.
And just to check, Juan, how many patrons have you got?
Oh, I think I've got 12 paid patrons and about 40 freebies.
Yeah,
just checking, just in comparison.
Yeah. Next week it'll be worse. How many have you got, Rob? So yeah,
excellent.
Right.
Just to answer Pookie's thing about why I chose Mythic Bastionland, I actually quite enjoyed Into the Odd, and I had heard that without looking at Mythic Bastionland that it had kind of improved on the system and added more to it, and it's set in the past rather than the weird Dickensian kind of time that Into the Odd was set. So I was curious to see if it was an improvement or not.
Okay, with that, should we do some first impressions then? I think let's just go around clockwise. Let's start with Rob and then come down to Pookie. I'm going to start taking names down.
I haven't played Into the Odd, so I don't know anything about it. So my first impressions were purely first impressions. And to be honest, it didn't grab me. The front cover looks really dull and boring. I couldn't really understand what it was going to be about. And then, so I wouldn't have picked it up. It's not something I'd pick up at the shelf. So even though I know nothing about it, if it's got a really good cover, then it'll make me interested. So I wouldn't have picked this up at all. I wouldn't have been interested. And then flicking through, I found the artwork quite poor. Wasn't really, again, didn't grab me. It's quite the only bit that I really liked was reading through the first bit is that it tells you that where to read if you're just going to do it as a player, or where you're going to read if you're going to be what they call a referee. That I really liked about it, is flicking through. And the only other thing that I struggled with the first was reading the title headings. I just really struggled to understand what some of it. Yeah, so some bits are simple. Other bits I was like going, it was really difficult at sort of first impression. So yeah, so I wasn't really keen on it, but that's my first impression.
Okay, Juan.
It could get better. It could get worse.
Who knows? I agree 100% with Rob about the cover. I'm very confused about why they went that way with the cover. It didn't grab me particularly. I quite enjoyed the interior artwork. I kind of like the kind of greenish palette they've chosen for it. Kind of like how intricate it is. My main problem with this is the layout. It's so bizarre. Like, for a book that costs 50 quid, I wouldn't have thought page count would be that big a deal, but like some things are like squashed right up to titles or right along the bottom. You can see really close there, which might sound like a minor thing, but it is very strange. And it did put me off. Agree with the kind of serifed titles. They are quite hard to read in places. But again, I think with a bit more spacing, they could have been read okay. My initial impressions, I was quite excited about getting a copy of this book. But ultimately, when I first opened it, I was quite disappointed. Those were my first impressions of it. Disappointment.
Okay, I think Pookie wanted to go last, so I'm going to go next. So I have to stop sharing the image because, as a male, don't tell the lady folk I can't multitask. So I think I'm pretty much just echoing everything you guys said. My very first impression was this is Into the Odd, and I didn't even fancy that book at all. So I thought this just is not going to be for me in any way, shape, or form. You asked us to review it. So here we are going through it. I thought, like everyone else has said, the front cover, it means nothing. It doesn't give the theme away, anything. I actually quite liked the greens. I quite liked it was that sort of weird, sort of. I'm not very good at explaining colours, obviously. 4 pages of rules. I was like, okay. I was informed that this is going to be in more depth than Into the Odd, and I'll come on to that afterwards. But yeah, it's effectively 4 pages of rules. That I was a little bit and as Stuart and Rob said, the initial title fonts are almost impossible for me. I thought it was me as dyslexic. It's obviously everybody. There's like things like the T's, you can't tell whether a T or a C. And then it doesn't even put the title later down in any of the paragraphs to work it out. And the font sizes are so random. Like Juan says, to get that page count down to, we can't go over 212 pages, whatever happens. They've just condensed the words, and you're reading some of them, the words are just getting smaller as you go further down the page. And I found this book exhausting to read. So that's my first impression. Pookie, save the best till last.
What the fuck is this book about? Honestly.
Oh, okay. You are Jay. You're the new Jay.
This sounds like total agreement.
Okay, so you've got this cover, and I don't mind this cover. I don't mind it. You know, it's intriguing. What is this? It's asking, you know, but the back cover is just that.
Yeah.
And then I go, okay, so somewhere there's got to be something that tells me what this role-playing game is. Where is it? And Adrian, show me the first page. Show the first page, sort of like, you know, where you've actually got sort of like something which you can read and kind of understand.
That bit.
No, bit forward.
Okay.
Just yeah. So
yeah.
Okay. So beginnings and glory. Okay. So that drops you straight into the rules, and start talking about what you do to play. What it doesn't do is doesn't tell you what the role-playing game is about. Doesn't tell you what you do in the game. Doesn't tell you what the point of it is necessarily. You know, it's sort of like oddly no context for everything that kind of follows, and it leaves you to wonder, to sort of like go through it and go, okay, I see how to try and come and understand what the game is about. In the end, okay, I had to go to basically yeah, no, please wait. Okay, so I had to go to the drive-through RPG page to go, there's a summary of what the game is about. And I'm going, why wasn't that summary on that page online in the book?
Totally agree, Pookie. I ended up watching a whole bunch of videos just to figure some of the things out.
See, I knew it was Arthurian legend because I was following the backer kit or whichever way it did, and I dropped my pledge on the last day because I was like, I've got so many things that I'm balancing, and I was like, I've got, I think, enough. We've lost Rob. We've got enough Arthurian legends with Pendragon and stuff like that. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't tell you. You can't find out anywhere.
So. That said, once I started leafing through the book, you know, I'm going, I actually quite like this. Is rather attractive, and I love the section where, you know, you've got the artwork pages of the myths and the knights, which kind of reminded me more of tarot cards more than anything. It was almost as if it's sort of like there was kind of like a tarot deck that they're kind of laying out and building for you. It's not that. So I was thoroughly intrigued as to what it was upon first impression. I mean, yes, actually, I did know that it was an Arthurian role-playing game. I did know that it was set in the past of Into the Odd and Mythic Bastionland, or possibly it could be the future. You know, you're not quite sure. But it's that kind of like, if you come to this afresh and go, what's this? You've really got to kind of work it out for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Oh, he's back. Okay. So our first impressions were all, I'd say, pretty similar, and it's very, And now we're back. Heck, it's arguably not last Arthurian legend. Well, I think we're going to come on to the good. So
I kind of disagree, because it's inspired by Arthurian, by different approaches to the Arthurian legend. This is a very brutal medieval approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Pookie, do you good then. I think.
So what I really liked about it was I did actually like the simplicity of the rules and the fact that once you kind of understood what was going on, it was easy to kind of pick up. And actually, Andrew Beaton is quite right. It does kind of feel like a 70s prog rock, artwork, and I do like that's a nice analogy.
I think that's why I liked it.
Yeah, I like the simplicity of the rules, and I like the fact that you had lots of options in terms of what you play. And then it was supported by lots of sort of like myths, which you could basically go and play in a single session. And basically create a hex grid which you populate with myths and holdings and perhaps a landmark or two, and just go and explore and play. And I think there's sort of like it's actually, once you dig into it and you have gone and found what that context is, you begin to put it together, and I think it's not really that much more complex than Into the Odd, but mechanically, I think it makes the game. Your characters are not necessarily are fragile potentially, but there's a sort of a sense of a tactical awareness that you need to have in playing this to keep yourself alive. You are playing knights. You do have an advantage of sort of like, you do go first. You can get in there and basically gang up on the enemy to take them down. As I say, there is a brutalism to this, and it lends itself to in some ways you can play it as like a one shot. I think that's kind of missing the point. I think it's really kind of built for medium to long term campaigns, which aren't necessarily that very long, because essentially you are exploring in one realm up to 6 myths, and so you might take anywhere between 6 and 12 sessions. And I also like just the amount of prompts and detail that as a game master you can use to drive the story and present the world that your player characters and the player characters, the knights, and all the players can kind of react to and add to if they want to.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Duan?
Yeah, I felt I enjoy. I mean, you guys know I like quite simple, straightforward rules. I'm a big fan of minimalist writing, but I do think they could have been fleshed out a bit more.
Yeah, I think we need to come on to that.
Yeah, I'll get to that. But what I really loved about this, because to begin with I was quite disappointed, struggled with the first kind of section and thought, oh God, this is 50 quid down the toilet. Well done. But then as I got through it, I mean, I have to say I love the artwork. I mean, I just think it's different from everything else, and I just really liked it. It just floated my boat. And I know it's very, very subjective. Not everyone's going to like it, but for me, it worked really well. But I love the different kind of knights and the different myths. I mean, what I loved about it was it kind of plays into the more weird and very strange aspects of Celtic and Arthurian myths, which don't get me wrong, I like Pendragon, but it kind of I suppose it depends which edition you play. It kind of moves you away from that aspect of it. But yeah, I once I actually got into the book and I got past the layout kind of issues that I was having with it, I loved it, and the prompts were great. I enjoyed the hex map aspect of it. I thought that was quite nice. So yeah, it really kind of grew on me. This was something that really had to work hard to grow on me after that initial first look. But yeah, really, really liked it in the end.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to sort of catch up with Rob to see what's going on.
Is he having internet issues?
He's got it. I can't even see him.
Oh dear.
Is it Swindon again?
I don't know. I don't know if he can even if he can hear us. But
I think he's hiding in one of your bins by the looks of it.
Leave my bins alone.
Well, you are Lord of the Bins, Adrian.
You are. You're not having one. You're not having one of my 5 large bins.
No man needs 5
I've got 5 kids, so 1 for each of them. I put their Christmas presents in it.
I'm surprised you haven't put a bed and all the facilities in each bin for them.
Well,
charging rent.
I'm going to put layers on it and pretend it's a high-rise flat. So my good simple rules. I am with you guys on it. I do like simple rules. I'm playing a lot more simple rules games nowadays. So yeah, you don't get much more simpler than 3 stats. Okay, this has got a 4th one. Ish. It's an ish 4th stat. The scar table.
It's more hit points. It's more hit points.
Yeah. Is it guard or vigor?
Guard.
Or
Guard.
Yeah.
Guard. The scar table. Always love a random wound table that's going to do lots of other stuff that's going to affect you going forward. Which just makes combat more deadly, makes it more interesting because players are aware that if things go wrong, you could have an ongoing scar or impact from it. It's a dice pool game in essence.
Yeah, I mean, to point out essentially that scar table can be, there is a chance that you'll get a positive kind of to result from the scar table. It's not all negative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean the other thing is essentially is that the combat system is, you basically gang up on as many, on a target, and you all roll the dice together for your weapons, and you're not rolling to hit, you're rolling for damage. The highest die counts. That's the amount of damage going in, and then you basically pick and choose the remaining dice to do gambits and features, which basically you can bolster damage and pin a shield in place, or disarm the character you're fighting, and so on. So there's a little bit of quite a bit sort of like, what are we doing to forward this combat?
Yeah, and it gives you a lot of choice, which is good. I do wonder how fast that will be. Combat with 4 or 5 people in, because you all roll at the same time, and then you kind of, I think, but we'll come on to that. I
don't think it's going to be any faster than normal combat, because essentially you're talking together, and rather than going around the table. Yeah, true. It's very much abstract, collective. Experience, isn't it? The round play, domain play, hex crawling, those rules itself are pretty much a good reason to get this book. And the other thing to bear in mind is that all of these different sections of rules are confined to 1 single page each.
Yes.
Yeah. So that everything you need is concisely presented on a single page.
Yeah, and then Chris's work is unbelievable to come up with 72 different knights, 72 different seers related to the knights with 72 individual passions, the armament, and everything else. And from there, then gives you 72 different missions, one-shots,
myths,
adventure. Well, they're myths, but they're effectively a one-shot adventure that builds and you find and discover.
But
and
they
like
are
said, you've got six going on at once.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is with those is that really it's a case of what you're doing when you play. You go out, look for a myth, and each myth has got sort of like, it's really comprised of essentially of the NPCs and a 6 omens. And you encounter the first omen essentially as a sense of what's going on, and as you draw closer and closer to the myth, you count down essentially the encounters in the omens, getting closer and closer to what the key core of the myth is. And the thing about the myth, not a single myth is given a means of resolution. You sort that out all in play. It's all about what the player knights do to resolve a myth.
Yeah. Shall we get Rob's good points while you're here?
No.
No.
Everyone's they're all ganging up on you this week, aren't they?
With my internet issues, I don't know
Yeah.
now what anybody said, so I may cover bits and pieces that you've already said. So,
That's fine.
so first of all, hyperlinks. I like hyperlinks. I find them really easy, and this has got loads of them. It's brilliant. So the contents were hyperlinked. You then go into any of the rules and stuff. If there's a page number mentioned, that hyperlinks as well. If you go down all 72 nights, they're hyperlinked. Same with all the myths. The only thing
you're going to go down all 72 nights.
When you go to the index, yeah, is the index. And that's it. But everything else that you could ever want is hyperlinked. So that's really good. As I could hear you mentioning, it's pretty rules light, which is good. You know, the 3 stats, the whole gameplay seems pretty light. The 72 nights, as you've mentioned, I'm glad it's not 73 because those images of the 72 nights wouldn't fit it into the page properly, nice and symmetrical. So 72 is a good number.
They'd have to have 73 myths then, wouldn't they? And 73 seers and everything.
Nothing would work.
By that time, you would have started to roll basically the dungeon crawl classics dice to get to the right to generate them.
So I like the rules. Well, not playing it, it's difficult to know if you like the rules, but the rules seem really interesting and different. And then again, because of the writing, I'm not sure how you pronounce this, but the odd apocrypha at the end, that's what it's called. So going through everybody's, you know, the 3 people that were involved in it, how they went through each scenario and the rules and combats. I found that was really, really good as well. And if you wanted to get a good idea of how the game's going to play, reading that's fantastic. That's my good points.
Cool. Okay.
It was worth waiting for.
It was. I'm glad you mentioned the I couldn't even read it. I didn't even know what word it said. I generally don't know what it's saying. I'm trying to share it, but there we go.
Odd.
Yeah, but that's not even a word. Look at that font. That's not a word.
I mean, it is a word. I can read that.
You're a wizard, Harry. So you can read it. But it's rather it's a good and a bad thing because it technically uses 40 pages worth of examples of how to play.
Yeah.
I mean,
which is good in one way.
Yeah.
But if you
I was going to say, because the thing is, it's kind of like what it does is add the context you wish was at the beginning of the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think my reaction is again, oh, this is really, really very good, and it is sort of like, okay, well, you've got it's each section again, 1 page each is 2 columns. You've got a column of the play example for each aspect of the rules, and then you've got the author's thoughts, okay, of what he thinks of the example, which sets up sort of like a bit of an odd dichotomy here. There's an element of dissonance here in that, okay, the author of the role-playing book is commenting in a different voice upon an example of play he has written himself. And it just sort of like, okay, and I thought, I'm all right, I'm kind of pulling out too far from that. I'm going, hold on a minute, what's he doing here? But it sort of adds to the oddness of the oddpocrypha.
Yeah. I think we can quite easily just segue into negatives and my one of the big ones to say, when you need 40 pages of rules clarification because you haven't done the job sufficiently front loading the book so people fully understand what's going on, I think that's a very strange one. Shall I carry on with I've never done negatives first.
You go for it, man.
Well, have you done your positives?
I did my positives.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the nights. So into the it is still into the odd, whichever way you want to look at it. People are telling me it's got 4 stats. It hasn't. It's got 3 stats. and
Hit points.
and hit points. It does one of the big things as well that I really dislike with Free League is it makes your attributes also related to hit points. So as you take damage, as you get tired, if you don't sleep, your difficulty for passing tests become harder and harder. And some people love this. Me personally, I don't. Because a couple of bad rolls, let's say you got a 16 in your ability. The game is you're just rolling a d20 and getting under that. And when you've only got 3 skills to roll under, if you then start taking damage, and one of them, to heal it, you've got to go and find a seer. And seers are just randomly placed throughout the world. You're never healing that stat back.
I would say in that just adds to the brutal element of play.
It does. It does. I think from a games master point of view, it can be quite difficult because once you get to the end of the session, the players decide the gap in between the next adventure. Is it a week? Is it a season? Is it several hundred years?
Well, I mean,
not several hundred. Yeah. And I love that as a player because I really love that part of Pendragon. The fact that you basically play a family of knights and you can go on and just keep going with it. Dorigo, I don't know if that. Yeah, that's why I don't like Free League. You know, he's just saying here. That's the whole point. And that's the reason I don't like it. Well, I do like it. I like Aliens, and I really love Blade Runner because Blade Runner doesn't do off the stats.
Do you think we'll ever do a video where we don't bash the Year Zero system?
Maybe not.
I seriously have my doubts.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought we'd get away with it with this one, but
yeah,
I mean, I just want to wave the flag for the Year Zero system. I think it's fine.
Yeah, positive and negative. This one, character creation. You're going to end up having some characters really strong, some characters weak. Personally, I'm happy with that, but I think a lot of players, if one player is completely overshadowing the others, some people don't like it.
I don't know. I think there's scope there.
Younger players will. People our age that are used to random stats, roll down your stats. I don't think will mind.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you kind of go at the same time. It's simple enough that if you don't like your character, you can probably throw it away in the first combat. In the first combat, if they really want to. But at the same time, it's kind of like I think there's a thing of my character is really shit. I've got to try and survive. How do I survive? And you have a knight who's not quite up to as good as this paragon that you're serving alongside, knowing that his tale is going to last down the ages because he's such a great knight, and you're going to get by the best you can. I think that's a great role playing possibility.
Yes,
absolutely.
As long as players know it going in, anyone that's bought this thinking they're getting Pendragon is in for a bit of a shock. And then finally,
I'm going to say even Pendragon does that as well.
It does, but I don't think it's quite to this extent.
It's not as brutal, I'll admit.
And I think, and I played with the warband rules, and I found the warband rules just like they went, oh, we need some warband rules. How long have we got before we go out for the rest of the day? They're perfectly sufficient for the game, but I was kind of hoping for something really good, like the combat system works. It just feels a little bit too. Well, I suppose, but in essence, it just wants the game to not really have that many warbandy situations.
Yeah. Well, I think it kind of does, because the point is you are getting. It does say the advice in the back is get a warband if because this is a brutal setting. You are going to need all the help you need. You're going to get all the help you can get, and if you've got a warband, it is going to give you an edge against other warbands. Because if you come up against a warband, it's a tough fight.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it. It's not that bad. I don't have that many negatives for it. So
cool.
Let's get Rob. Oh no, I don't think he's moving. So
he's so still.
He is. He's contemplating his answer. Let's swing back to Pookie then.
Okay, so I mean, I already said there's an odd dichotomy here, that in the tone of the way of the Apocrypha is written, with sort of like the author commenting in a different voice upon something that he has written. I would say that my biggest negative is the lack of context for the game going into it. I think that's just without that context. I mean, okay, so all right, I'm already writing my review of this, and I was going, how do I write about this? And it was literally, I went, okay, and I went to the drive-through RPG page because I needed to get an image of the book for the review. And I went, oh, and it's got a description of the game. And I went, okay, I get it. I know, and I went straight into it going, okay, I really like how this works. But if you come to this cold, you know, it's written in a style that is almost as brutal as the gameplay it espouses.
But it is kind of strange though, because there are, like, you know, that 40 pages in the back explaining how the game works, but then you've got real key places where you just need more.
Yeah,
and it really confused me, that.
Yeah, but I mean, so yeah, and it's I think that's ultimately it. That really it comes down to not enough explanation up front. Okay, and it's just that single page. It just needed that to give the game context. Other than that, I don't really have a problem with this game. I don't really have any really good problems. And I just keep coming back to that. I mean, I'd argue from my point of view, you know, to not have that page, it's a cardinal sin.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to have what is a role-playing game, and ideally, how do you? Who is this for? How do you play it?
Yeah,
it's very important. You're right. Yeah. Context is so important for this.
And if you come to this cold, you've literally got to try and work your way into the game, kind of try and work out what the game's about from what is some very concise writing.
Yeah.
So the other thing I did notice is there's no character sheet in the book.
Oh, you're right.
I know you don't. I know you don't technically need it because
I think you could.
So like you could put it on a post-it note.
You could put it on an index card.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want my negatives then?
Yes. I was going to pick this up. I think we've all read it. I always play by. I was going to say play by myself, which I do. So I will be really interested to actually play this with a group. So yes. I always test out mechanics, which is why I think. Well, I'll do the conclusions when we get to the conclusions. Yeah. But I think we're all probably in that boat that we've had a mess around, but not a full playthrough as yet. Yeah.
So my negatives very much. Charlotte will tell you I enjoy minimalist writing, but for me, in places it was way too minimalist. Particularly the rules. You know, even just dedicating a couple more pages would have helped. For me, the biggest issue was the layout. Honestly, I know I said this at the start, but it really bugged me. It's like whoever's decided they're going to do these double page spreads and that's how they're going to be. It's kind of like the tail wagging the dog a little bit. So it becomes almost not functioning to that point. But I do think there's a fantastic game in here. That's the killer. You just got to peel the onion of bullshit to get to it. That's the problem for me.
Yeah, I definitely. I think layout is.
I mean, that's really what I struggled with the most in this was the layout, and that might be just a me thing, but it was a thing. But
it's the one thing you constantly talk about from review to review. So I think it is definitely.
It is a me thing because it's something I do for a living type thing. But you know, it's just there's some very strange decisions made, and I think Adrian made a comment about Into the Odd that it felt like it was written in a bit of a hurry in order to get to the pub, and I didn't really get what you meant about Into the Odd because I kind of thought, well, it's all there, but I kind of do get what you mean in regards to this, particularly those first few pages. It felt very rushed.
I don't think it felt rushed. I think it was a matter of trying to get the information just on the single page more than anything.
Yeah, this is so much better than Into the Odd for me.
Yeah. I think it's a better game. Don't get me wrong, but for me, just needed a bit more information in some places.
Yeah. So a Dewan must have hated Mortborg.
I have
hold
a
on.
love. Oh, I see. Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with Mork. Go on. How do we say it, Pookie?
Merkborg.
There you go. With that game, the artist and illustrator in me absolutely loves that book. It's a beautiful thing, but trying to read it is a bloody nightmare.
Yeah. Right, let's get Rob while he's back. He looks like he's on his phone. The camera's
I've gone to my phone,
And
so this seems to be working okay. So, fortunately, again, I don't know what you've covered, but we already said I didn't like the artwork. Really didn't. I didn't get it. It was only when I really zoomed in close that I could really sort of see it. But yeah, I didn't like it. The title fonts we've talked about. Really didn't like those. It's very word heavy. You know, I mean the artwork that's in there tends to be sort of quite small. It's to the side, so it is very. If you just flick through it and you just see word after word after word, it's very word heavy. Where's the character sheet?
Yeah.
I was looking for a character sheet, or where is it? So, and what I really liked, so I didn't mention it in the likes, but the hex crawl and the way the design sort of like the town, well, the whole map. There's no proper example in there to show you how a fully made up sort of area could look like, and potentially no sort of sheets to use. I was expecting maybe there to be a blank in there as well for you to use. So I was sort of disappointed that, but it, like you said, it feels a little bit rushed. And if you were to take out the 72 knights and the 72 seers or the 72 myths, and you broke it down to 10, 12 of them, imagine how small this book would be.
But I think if they did that, then you'd have had a lot more lore, because all the world lore is in those myths. Well, not all of it, but and it's also going to come from the players.
Yeah. I mean, I would argue that essentially the myths are the lore.
Yeah.
You know, you go into this going, okay, this is a generally sort of like a medieval knights in armor role playing game. Arthurian in basically in its inspiration, but again, not directly dealing with the Arthurian myth, but rather dealing with a lot of kind of folklore and other legends, you know, in a realm of limited size.
Yeah, I just think the way that it was put together would probably just put me off, and I'd never play it. But reading it and actually reviewing it and reading it, I'd quite like to have given it a go. Whether or not it's something that I would try once as a one shot and then go, yeah, no, this isn't for me. But it'd be interesting. Be interesting to play.
Yeah, I mean, in comparison, Electric Bastionland, which is the Belle Epoque, late 19th, early 20th century role-playing game set in sort of like an incomprehensible city, is the first 200 pages are all character generation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, you mentioned this last time. It sounds horrible.
It's not, because the point is that every 2-page spread is a single means of creating one character type, pretty much like this. Okay, so you have 200. Basically, you have like 100 different character types, and it's kind of patterned on that kind of structure, interlaced here with the myths.
Okay, so I'm gonna start the roundup then, because I did the negative. I actually think my one concern that we kind of haven't talked about is I just don't know whether really an experienced games master will be able to pull this off. If this is your first book that you're given as a games master, I think you might struggle initially, because the Western Marches style of this book really appeals to me, because I like it. It's basically, in essence, it's a hex crawl with 6 key locations for the players to. Well, the games master is going to tease out little things of what they do. They're going to then input how they feel about it, and then you as a games master is going to move away and go, okay, he said that guy looks a little bit angry, so okay, we'll make, and they will then be able to go out and actually explore and discover a world together. And I think, because some of the hex crawls that I've run and played in, you don't know why you're adventuring. This, you know exactly as a player what you're going to do. You've got 6 goals to start with, which is more than enough to get going. Go on.
And the other thing to bear in mind is that what drives all of your characters is an oath.
Yes.
You know, basically protect the realm, investigate myths, and so on. You know, that's everyone. It doesn't matter which type of knight you are. You know, that's what drives you to go and investigate these myths. And ultimately, they'll point out is that by resolving these myths, by whatever way you do it, you earn glory. And as you accrue glory, there's a greater chance of you being recognized as worthy. And you may get to the point where you actually are basically given a place at court or on a council. You may end up controlling a holding or even a seat of power in that realm, so that you have kind of like birthright kind of level play, but on a very stripped down version because it's into the odd, essentially, or essentially a micro clone.
Mm.
Do you?
Yeah.
Adrian. Okay, sorry.
Go on.
So also, yeah, sorry, I just got 70. Obviously, the amount of replayability when people die, because you sort of go, you can't actually create your own knights. That might be a little bit of a, but you've got 72 to play with, and like Pookie said, you're a little bit a little bit weaker. See, there's a good chance if things go badly, you'll just be able to randomly create a new one. They're all incredibly interesting and the sort of thing you wouldn't have thought of as a resource. Someone else. I need to shut up.
All right. I think one of the things we talk about a lot of kind of RPGs is whether they come with an adventure or not. And what's great about this is it potentially comes with 72, which is really good. And some of them are quite out there, as well as the knights. I mean, the knights, some of them are mental. It's brilliant. But some of the myths are equally as kind of crazy. And yeah, I do, despite all the things I've said, I genuinely think this is a fantastic game. It's just, it desperately needs a revised edition, essentially, with just a bit more fleshed out, spaced out a bit better. And then for me, it'd be right up there as probably one of the top games I'd want to play in the near future.
Rob, what have we got you?
Yeah, I'd sort of say the same, really. It looks like a great game to play, really interesting. You've got so many different sort of options and stuff. And like you say, 72 adventures, basically. Is fantastic, but the book lets it down. The book, the way it's put together, is really disappointing, and that might put a lot of people off from playing it, which is unfair, because I think it potentially could be really, really interesting and fun to play. Totally.
Pookie?
Okay, so I am impressed by this role-playing game, the amount of content it gives you, the flavour of it. I mean, I have issues essentially with the lack of context, which we've kind of gone over again and again. But this is it's not just a rules light role-playing game. This is a rules intense role-playing game. This is, Arthurian, a sort of like semi-Arthurian legend by way of medieval brutalism. Do you know the film Jabberwocky?
Yeah.
This is Jabberwocky, writ large. Okay, it's brawling, bloody. It's going to be funny at times, and I think if you are an experienced referee and you've got players who are prepared to go with that degree of brutalism, and just see where the great range of characters they have access to are going to go in exploring just essentially a simple hex crawl campaign, I think you're going to get a great game out of this. If you put, if you're willing to put in the effort to kind of set it up and play it.
Yeah. Rob, everyone said that.
Everyone said that.
We've all said
we
our
finished
piece.
10 minutes ahead of time.
10 minutes. I know. We're going to fill
What are we
10
going to do
minutes.
for the last 10 minutes?
just get the wheel rolling for 10 minutes.
Well, we could ponder over what game Adrian's going to pick for next week.
I'm not going to tell you.
Mean.
I think what I can do. Let's show some of the absolute batty nuttiness of some of the knights.
Yeah, some of them are crazy.
Because basically, character creation is simple. You just basically you're rolling your 3 stats, which is a d6, 2d6 plus 6. I think
it's a d12 plus a
d12. That's it, plus 6, or a d6, depending on your level. But then you just get to randomly select a knight. So you get randomly. Can't speak. A knight is randomly rolled for you. So you roll d6 at the 6 tables and then a 12. So, for example, like Rob said, all hyperlink. Let's just pick the bloody knight. What I would encourage the players not to do is ever read any of the other knights, because if you read them, you're going to want to play it. So as long as the players don't read it, because let's pick the bloody knight, right next to them is one of the myths.
Yeah.
So if they're reading the knights, it's going to be a bit like Dewan says, from a layout point of view. You're going to have to, as a games master, tell them what their knight does. You cannot hand this book to a player and go, look at this, don't look at the opposite page, please.
Because that really confused me, because I thought the myth was connected to the knight initially.
Yeah, it feels like it should be because of layout. So go on.
But I think what they're trying to do is basically, you've got in the top left-hand corner the results of the die roll.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to avoid replicating that.
They're saving on printing costs. It's so you get obviously a little bit of text that I can't read. You get a title that I can't always read, but it gives you then your property, your ability. So everyone's got a special ability. So this one's got Slaughter Echo. Use immediately after defeating an opponent. Your next melee attack in this combat gains Blast, which is one of the forgotten the word for it.
Is it
Gambits?
Gambit. Yeah,
Gambits. Yeah. And then you've got the Passion, and this is how you get one of your stats back. So through Justice, so you restore your SP when you restore the balance of when you restore the balance of justice. You've got a few things that rage fuel to do, people that you hate and things you don't like do it. And then when you become knighted, you are knighted by a seer. So it took me ages to find the seers, because it talks a little bit about this. And I was where the bloody hell are these seers? And they are all tucked away in this bottom corner. And then you've got like some other just words and characteristics and keywords put at the bottom. And you're
those words at the bottom there, they're designed essentially as extra prompts. Because you've got the table of sparks at the sort of like towards the front of the book, just for sort of like generating content even on the fly. And then you've got sort of like at the bottom of every night and every myth, you've got basically a set of prompts which you can use. Could this be a grim? I mean, since I've already mentioned Jabberwocky, yes, but honestly, you probably just want to go and play Monty Python the Holy Grail role-playing game and just make that grimmer.
Yeah. So let's do a myth then. So this river one, which you've got a little bit of a title, and this is what we're saying about the omens. There are 6. I'm not going to dwell on this too long because I don't want to spoil it. But as you interact with the hex and do things, then as the games master, you'll let them know of random stuff that's going to happen. It's going to seem random, but it will draw them more to fixing potentially, because some of them they don't feel like you can actually solve. It's one of those, and it's down to the players. As I sort of said in my conclusion, I think experienced games masters and metagaming players that you've known for a while, you're going to have a great amount of fun. I think as a one-shot, as a convention, if you just turned up at it, I think that would still be quite fun, but I don't think you're going to get anywhere near the best out of this game if you do it as a one shot.
Yeah.
You need to have this as an ongoing campaign over several weeks and months.
Yeah,
and
basically,
I think you will love this.
Yeah, dealing with the individual realm and its six myths is really kind of where this, I guess, they say the sweet spot for this.
Yeah, yeah. This is the sort of game, like Rob, when we talk about Ars Magica. So if anyone's ever played Ars Magica, you build your city, well, your village up. So you have your main character, you have a pleb character, and then you have a normal character and your wizard. And we spent weeks building this up. And in the very first adventure, the fire mage botched his spell and killed fucking everybody. And we wasted it. But we never played it again, but we still talk about it. We have this fond kind of memory of this sort of 35-year-old experience that we all had that Paul completely ruined.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me. Yeah, I mean, there's a science fiction role playing game called, which is based upon Burning Wheel, or Burning Iron, I think it's called, or something like that. And we spent ages creating the setting for it, and we never got to play. But the creation of the setting was great, and would have been good in play. But we looked at the rules and went, it's just too complex. In this, it's the GM is really going to set up the realm for you, and you're just going to go off and play and explore it, and really try and play to your knightly type.
Yeah. And I think as a games master, this actually gives you a player to play, which is the rest of the world. Because some worlds are quite static, especially in a pre-made adventure. Even in your homebrew adventures, it can be quite static. But because the omens are going to bring on and change things, you will just be building this world together over time. And then when you get a total party wipe, it doesn't matter. It's going to take you 2 minutes, or create a bunch of new knights to go and look for the old knights and find out what happened to them or whatever. And then name something out after the people that have died there to make it a little bit more epic, to then bring in new knights.
Yeah.
And the rules are so light, even an inexperienced games master or someone that's never played this don't have to worry about the rules. All they got to worry about is the hex crawl and building the world. Because when people say, let's play Pendragon, you go, I want to play Pendragon. Oh, I've got to learn Pendragon again. It's not that heavy, but this, you go, oh, I've got to learn Into the Odd. Oh, I know it. I know it. Yeah. Can you roll under 20? Yes, I can do that.
There you go. You know how to play it.
Yeah. What's the most you can count up to? 20. You're in. Your stats can't go above 19. Don't worry about it. So...
I mean, to be honest, that's pretty much what Pendragon is like as well.
Yes, yeah, but this does 3 stats well. I think. Yeah, which was my big criticism. And so maybe my big criticism of Into the Odd wasn't necessarily the stats. It was just the world, and where this world really does excite me. This world is much more sharply drawn and evoked.
Into the Odd, it's much more abstract. I think I was part the way through reading the adventure before I realized it was kind of like an industrial-esque kind of world.
Yeah, I mean, and also to an extent, Electric Bastionland has much more of a developed setting. This is really developed essentially. You've got the baseline of a realm with holdings, a seat of power, and some terrain to which you layer the myths. You basically insert the myths in to bring it to life. Yeah.
Wow, we are at 9 o'clock.
Does that mean the wheel's coming out?
We got that.
Is. Well, we've got a few things to do.
Yeah, we've got to do our thumbs up. So if you haven't
yeah.
commented and want to be in the draw, I get your comments in over the next minute or so while we do thumbs up, thumbs down. So let's go for this. Is everyone ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Do you know what? I've ordered this. And I hated you 2 weeks ago for suggesting that.
You weren't subtle.
No. I've had a tough time reading it, but the reality of the fact that you don't really need to go back and read most of it again.
No, I mean, like
what
I
you
said,
need. titles are terrible, but
It's a great,
stunning book.
It's a great game. Might even be the best game I've been excited about all year. It's just wrapped in a not great package.
And I mean, the other thing to bear in mind is that the rules themselves, you say 4 pages, essentially the complete rules are 16 pages long.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is 3/40 of the book.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is good. Right, let's see who has won a PDF copy. So we've had 31, which is the highest we've ever had.
Wow.
So there's
Wow.
16 Patreons, which is I think
boo.
4 more than Ewan. This week, 2 weeks time, it won't be.
Let me just check it. I'm going to check to see how many
You don't need to check. You've said it's 12. We'll just leave it at 12.
Oh, we're going to leave it at 12, are we? Okay.
So I'm gonna subscribe to myself with lots of fake accounts.
Oh, sorry. I've got 49 in total, 16 paid.
Oh man, we're level. We're level. You're beating me on the freebies. So it's not even worth talking about anymore. Let's talk about something else.
Sorry,
31.
Sorry, can I just want to point out? Oh yes, it is definitely worth talking about because it's funny.
It is. Okay, I
only started a Patreon on Adrian's advice.
Your channel grew because of me, so you say. You've got a Patreon because
of me.
I reckon I need a cut for this. There's got to be a cut coming somewhere. So I'll be seeing you at the expo. I should be having a stall at the expo this year.
Oh, fantastic!
Which is all building quite well, but I can't really talk about it anymore. Is that showing the wheel? Because it's not showing me my page for some reason.
Yeah.
So here we are, 131. Good luck, everybody. Ooh, it's not a Patreon. It's not a Patreon.
Ooh.
Why won't it let me go back? Can't find us. That's it. Right. Okay. What was that? 21.
21. Yeah.
21 is Midwest. Well done. He is on my Discord. Midwest is on my Discord. So if you're still here, comment. If not, I can sort it out. He's that is cool. Right. You want to know what's coming up next week?
Well, week after next.
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks time. So what's that? The 24th.
It is.
I've decided because this is a theme I don't think we've covered.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
We're going post-apocalyptic. Now, tell me if we've covered that before.
Is it Mutant Year Zero?
No, it's not.
Oh, I know what Pookie's picking next then.
No, you don't.
It is Ashes Without Numbers by Kevin.
Oh, cool.
Right.
Pookie doesn't seem very excited.
It's just the size of the book I've got to read.
Thank you for watching. Thank you guys for joining in. And
no worries,
we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Cheers.
Cool.
Cheers. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I think that went well.